GhoulardiFest inside the pavilion. There's some very, very interesting models here. A lot of good stuff here. Worth it. People would next to our kind of dead. They used to pull these tapes, and then there's a guy that has like modern clay stuff, Halloween. And then there's a guy that like has stuff from an old warehouse. So there's the guy next to us. Signing autographs.
Yes. Godzilla.
Selling all this stuff there. Of course they will. Oh, yeah. This is the line for the Ghoul book signing. All the way down. I had that TV, guys. I have it. I still have it. That's why I gave it to you, didn't I? No, I got it a long, long time ago.
Coming up at 1:30, man, you won't, if you were here last year, you remember these people, you won't want to miss this. 1:30, we have the futuristic, fantastic CW3 robot band, live and in person, actually not live, they're robots, but they'll be landing here from their spaceship at about 1:30 to perform for you. You will not believe this, you've not seen anything like this before. You certainly want to be here for the CW3 robot band. Starting at 2 o'clock, we have a special guest, one of our special guests who's in the other building right now, a veteran Hollywood actor. He's been in Charles Bronson movies and Chuck Norris movies, you name it. He had a wonderful question and answer session yesterday. He'll be here to visit with us from Hollywood, John Solari. We also have at 2:45 our first group photo session. Now, if you have cameras, if you have videos, what have you, 2:45 you want to be here on the main stage. We'll have all of our celebrities here at one time. The only time you see them at one time in one place to take flash photos, videos, what have you. That'll be about 2:45 for the big group photo session. At 3 o'clock, Mr. Bob Houlihan Wells will be here for questions and answers, tell you some of the great stories about filming the Houlihan and Big Chuck show. He'll be here to take your answers at that time too. Coming along from Florida with his lovely wife Barbara Wells, who's also with us today. At 3:30, we have none other than TV's Lost in Space actors, Judy Robinson, played by Marta Kristen, and also Major Don West, played by Mark Goddard. They're both here. They're in the other building. We'll tell you about that in a moment here. They will be here for questions and answers. It's great. The stories they have about the Lost in Space series are unbelievable. Coming up after them at 4:15 this afternoon, you'll want to be here because your Lord and Master will be here live and dead in person right here on the stage. None other than WB55's very own Friday night 11:30 horror host, The Ghoul. He'll be right here, 4:15 this afternoon. About 5 o'clock, we have a big final farewell photo shoot, and then the great music, the great sounds of deep space, outer space with Charel. Charel will be here to entertain us at 5 o'clock. Boy, you won't want to miss this. It's an outstanding performance indeed. What a way to wrap things up for GhoulardiFest 2. It's all coming here right on this stage. Now, in this building, in the first building, besides all the vendors, rows and rows and aisles of vendors, and the main stage here, we have, and I want to make sure you don't miss any of this, of course, the WMJI DJs will be doing live shows. You want to stop by and see them. We have in the far left corner up here, you want to make sure you visit Big Chuck's Ghoulardi Memorabilia Museum. It contains things like the original camera phone. Remember Dominic on camera phone? It's over there. We have Ghoulardi's original smock, his lab smock, if you want, with all the buttons on it, plus his fright wig. We have his Ghoulardi All-Star baseball jersey on display here. We have oodles and oodles of photos here taken of all the early days, plus the original, remember before RTA was the CTS, Cleveland Transit System, one of the original side bus placards of the Ghoulardi show that was actually stolen off the bus by Big Chuck, and it's over there. It's mentioned that he stole it, so it's all there. It's a wonderful place to go and visit too. We have the official GhoulardiFest souvenir stand right there, right next to the Ghoul's souvenir stand. If you want anything with the GhoulardiFest, it is there. It is available for you there, from t-shirts and sweatshirts to mugs and buttons and cups. It's all there for you. Our good friend Chris Quinn is also here. Chris Quinn, if you remember Chris Quinn from WRMR Radio here, if you remember back in when Ghoulardi was on in the 60s there, they had their Manners Big Boy was selling the Ghoulardi Big Kniff Shakes, and if you bought one, you got a free bumper sticker. Okay, well, we don't have the shakes. We're working on that. We may have the shakes for next year, the big Ghoulardi shakes, but we do have the bumper stickers. Chris Quinn has them over there for you. Be sure to stop by. He has different colors in them. I would not put them on a bumper. They're too valuable for that. Keep them in your scrapbook. Okay, don't try to use them as a bumper sticker. They're just too valuable for that. They're souvenirs for you. Chris Quinn has them. We have the flamingo surprise last year and yesterday. People were buying the pink flamingos like crazy, and they were just getting autographed by everybody. All the celebrities were autographing pink flamingos. You may want to do that as an option. Okay, have a wonderful, wonderful memento of the day to you. Countess Vladimira is here. She'll have a group photo session. Be sure to stop by and see Countess Vladimira. We have more and more vendors group photo session. Be sure to stop by and see Countess Vladimira. We have more and more vendors up and down the aisle. Anywhere you go, there's going to be wonderful, wonderful surprises around the corners. So do stop by and see them. Our Basil Gogos, the master of horror art, is here in person. Also at Monster Scene booth right here. He's had things on the covers of Monster Scene magazine. Let's see, cover for Zombie magazine. Let's see, covers for famous monsters of movie land. He's a wonderful, wonderful monster artist. He is here in person to autograph some of his own original artwork too. That is going on in this building, but you want to make sure you spend some time going over to the other building. What's there? Listen to this now. The other building is just as exciting. We have the Ghoulardi Shock Theater going on in the other building. It's showing, first of all, the original Ghoulardi horror movie, The Brain That Wouldn't Die. You know, the lady's head on the slab on the table. We're showing that because that's the only film we have with actual inserts of Ghoulardi in the movie. You'll see Ghoulardi interacting with the actors in the movie. And we also, to make it sound look like an authentic 1960s TV show as a Ghoulardi show, we've intercut also some original 1960s TV commercials. So you'll see all the old-time commercials too. It's just like being there Friday night back in the 60s when he was on from 1963 to 66. It's going on at the Ghoulardi Shock Theater. And then also rotating with that is the Big Chuck Little John 25th Anniversary Show, where they have wonderful, wonderful classic skits and some of the interviews with Ernie Anderson himself in that. So you'll want to see both of those, of course, at the Ghoulardi Shock Theater. Also, our Hollywood makeup artists are in the other building too. If you want to volunteer to do some, have your face done by the Hollywood makeup artists, they will do monster alien kind of makeup for you, and I think you'll enjoy that. Warzone has live war games going on. There are table games with actual soldiers. You can win the battles and so forth going on there too. You do not want to miss the classic auto drive-in theater in the other building. All restored, beautifully restored classic cars, about 10 of them there at a makeshift drive-in movie in the other side too. All the old-fashioned drive-in movie, 4 minutes, go to refreshment stand and buy your popcorn, all the dancing stuff, dancing popcorn. It's all there at the classic car drive-in movie. In addition to that, we also have in the other building our featured guests are there. We have, as we mentioned earlier, you can meet them and get autographs, photos, and so forth. Mark Goddard, who played the part of Major Don West in the Lost in Space TV show. Also, Marta Kristen is there, who played the part of Judy Robinson in Lost in Space. They're both there. They will be happy to talk to you, meet with you, autographs, and so forth. Also in the other building, we have the Coopers from the original Ghoulardi motion picture. And Froggy's here too. Don't forget Froggy. He's hanging around with the ghoul. We also have from the original Night of the Living Dead, the old black and white one, the original actors who played the Coopers, the farm family, Kyra Shawn, Carl Hardman, and Marilyn Easton over there. So be sure to stop by and say hi to them too. In addition to that, we mentioned earlier John Solari will be here. Are we about ready for... All right, Mushmouth arrived off the plane. He is ready to take on challengers with the pizza eating contest. And in the meantime, Big Chuck and Little John are just about ready to come on here to give you your official greeting. When the Lost in Space folks come up here for their question and answer, he has a wonderful Lost in Space version that he's going to play for us to introduce them. And then, of course, he'll have his full concert at 5 o'clock. You won't want to miss it. You get a little sample from him just before the Lost in Space folks come on. But, man, you don't want to miss this. And you will be able to get CDs from Charell. He's right here next to the stage, too. And he'll be here throughout the afternoon. That is all coming up here. So, let's see. Chuck, are we about ready to... All right, okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's start things off. Great big GhoulardiFest round of applause for Big Chuck Shadowski and Little John Rinaldi.
From high across the CCA building in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, on the shores of beautiful Lake Erie, it's the Big Chuck and Little John Show.
Okay, how about that?
I like
Our own
that.
music.
I like it. All right.
Nice hand for the sound man. He's terrific.
He's been here all weekend putting up with us.
Welcome to GhoulardiFest 2. This is our second day. A nice crowd here. How many people are here today? Raise your hand. Nice crowd.
Oh, gee, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to read this from the Berea Police Department. For all you people that have cars parked out there. The car with the license number ACY 783-2976 1375 278 2674 431-8375.
The guy's back, way back there.
That's your car, sir? Your car is okay, but your license plate is blocking the entrance to the fairgrounds.
You know, we were doing our act yesterday, and Hoolie's going to come on, and we were just talking. We're too tired to really go through that. You probably have seen it anyway. So we're going to do something different. We're going to give away a bunch of stuff. We have trivia. I compiled a bunch of old TV themes. It fits right along with the GhoulardiFest. John is going to go down into the audience, with prizes. I will play the themes. If you know the answer, get John. Don't tell me, because you won't get the prize if you tell me. If you tell John, you'll get the prize. We're going to be giving away posters, and John, here's some tapes for you. I'll put them at the, and some Neil Zerker one-tank trip tapes. And a TVA coffee mug.
Well, I don't even have one of those.
Okay, you want to alternate this stuff, John?
Right. We'll start off with a Neil Zerker one-tank trip tape.
Okay, now if you know the answer, tell John. Neil Zerker one-tank trip tape.
First one to shout it out. You don't have to raise your hand or anything.
I hope this works.
So do I. Got it. Right here. Got a winner.
Winner already.
This is going to go fast with this crowd.
That's easy. We'll get a little tougher. Hogan's Heroes. How about a poster now, Tim?
Poster, okay.
A Kabasi Kid poster for the next one coming up.
I'll go on this side too. They'll have a tougher time on this one.
Okay, a tough one, John.
Okay, we're
Give him
gonna...
the coffee cup, because this is a tough one.
Oh, that last one's fast. We got it right here. Okay, we got it. Sea Hunt.
Got a winner. Sea Hunt, old Lloyd Bridges, the late Lloyd Bridges. That was an oldie. Okay, this one's gonna go fast, John.
I know. I'm going to stand right here because I'm going to have to come back anyway in about a second. This one will
See
go
how
fast.
fast they get her usually on the first two notes.
Okay.
Okay, a Kabasi Kid poster. Here we go.
Got it. Who yelled it right there? Okay.
Guys are true to form. Rawhide.
Right. He would be back here when I was up front.
Anyone know who sings this? No prize for this.
Give him a prize. Give him a
Hey,
prize. Give him a prize.
You're too generous.
Well, I'm extravagant with your posters.
Okay, here we go.
Well, this will take a while.
Right away. Peter Gunn. Henry Mancini wrote this and a whole bunch of other TV themes and movie themes from Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, this will go fast too. This one's easy. Right.
You know?
Okay, this is it. Even I know this. Okay, we got it. I heard it over there. Okay.
Okay, Ben Casey, which Houlihan and I turned into Ben Crazy many years ago.
That's right.
Speaking of these old themes and old stuff and old people, I would like to introduce my former partner direct from Florida. Here he is, Houlihan! That last step.
Forgot to shave this morning. How's everybody? Good to see you. I have my own cheering section today.
I see it.
Isn't that neat? 1/10 of the audience is my family right down here.
Some
I'm
grandkids.
going to embarrass you now. Got to stand up. It's my son-in-law Scott, my
Hey,
daughter
Scott.
Terry,
Terry.
my granddaughter Allison, my granddaughter Amy, and my first wife, my
Hey,
daughter
Scott.
Terry,
Terry.
my granddaughter Allison, my granddaughter Amy, and my first wife, Barbara Wells. 42 years and counting. That's not her age, that's how long we've been married.
Okay, I'm going to leave you alone up here for a little bit.
Hi, Dee, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh, leave me alone? That mean I gotta say something now? I'm on the spot, is that it? Okay, we're going to do readings by Robert and stuff like that a little bit later. I would like to point out another friend who's in the audience. I guess he didn't shower this morning, so he's all by himself. This gentleman sitting over here, you might recognize as the arch nemesis of the Kielbasa Kid and many other routines that we did down through the years. His character name is Big Stosh. And underneath all of that is a very nice man by the name of Russ Cormier. He revealed to us yesterday something I did not know. I've known this guy for 30 years, and I didn't realize he's the, you're not full-blooded Indian, are you? Okay, part Indian, from the Meshuggah tribe, isn't it, up there in Canada? Okay. Anyway, I was just thinking of some of the people that populated the airwaves, you know, back when we were doing our thing. Who remembers the day we went on the air? Now, there's a trivia question for you. When did we go on the air as the Houlihan and Big Chuck Show? 1966? What month? Well, I mean, very few people know it, so don't feel bad about it. Well, somebody knows. Really? Am I the only one old enough to remember that? I know when it went on because I was there, okay? December 23rd, 1966. If anybody asked you, now you know. Now you can win a prize next time they ask that question. Well, we really had some interesting people down through the years that we were on at the same time. How many people remember the morning show with the guy with the German lederhosen and the little pork pie hat, or the little hat thing? Franz the Toy Maker. Remember his name? You're not going to win any prizes. I don't have any prizes up here. I'd have to strip and give you my shoe or something, but because I didn't bring anything along. Ray Steviarski was his name. And he had the darndest habit of going out at night, the night before, and should we say getting lubricated a little bit? He liked beer, okay? So he would stay out late at night. Now mind you, he had to be up. I think the show was at 7 o'clock in the morning, if I recall correctly. And he would stay out until 2, 3 in the morning, come back to the station. This was done at 17th and Euclid. Remember when it was down there? It's a parking lot now, have you noticed? Oh boy, talk about memories. But he would sleep overnight on the sofa in the basement of the station. And they get him up about 5 to 10 minutes before airtime. He'd splash a little water on his face, wouldn't even shave. He'd put on this lederhosen and a little hat and run upstairs. Used to drive the director crazy because she'd like to plan these things out. So this one day we saw him on the air. I didn't watch it until the kids were getting a little older, but we saw him on the air one day. Remember his partner on the show? Had the kind of the red string yarn hair? Raggedy Ann. Of course, it wasn't Raggedy. Well, they kind of changed the name a little bit because there's laws against that. But anyway, so she was his partner on this thing. And what you saw on the air this one day, and I saw this on the air. What you saw, remember the kids used to send things in and they would show off, you know, what the kids had sent. And what you saw, remember the lederhosen, was Ray Steviarski's hairy leg and a close-up of the picture. And then he would describe that, and then she would take the picture away, and you see another picture, and he would describe that, and really praise the young person who sent it in. So what you saw in the air, this actually happened. Oh, there's a nice picture. Oh, little Johnny, you did a good job. You stayed within the lines. Look at the nice tree, and the grass, and the river, and oh yes, there's a little boat there. Oh, very nice job, Johnny. Oh, and there's he fell asleep on the air. You can imagine that. Oh my. The manager of the station finally said, Ray, you've got to get up earlier. You've got to get up there and talk to Rue de Gravels, who was the engineer or the director at the time. Says you've got to get up earlier and you've got to plan things out a little more. You're driving our director crazy, you're driving the crew crazy, they don't know exactly what you're going to do, so you got to do it. And his comment was, well, I just don't feel any incentive to get up any earlier. And the manager said, would lack of a salary be an incentive? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I can do that, okay. Did anybody see the movie Summer Rental? Did you see that? Wasn't that neat? Was for us. I love Screen Actors Guild. because every time you rent the movie or it shows up on cable television or anywhere around the world in a different kind of a venue, you know, yeah, you got it. Man's way ahead of me. You get a check. That's called residuals, long-term residuals. And there was a lady who did a role in that film at the very beginning. Remember where John Candy was a burned-out air controller up in Atlanta, and he came down to Florida on a forced vacation. They said, you've got to take a vacation to get out of here and recharge your battery. So he does. Goes down to Florida and rents this house. Turns out he's in the wrong house, but the point is, the kids are running out on the beach, and he goes upstairs, and he's going to relax on the little sofa thing outside, you know. And he looks across the way, and here's this little cabana with, you know, an umbrella and a nice little table, and here's this very attractive couple. And Barb, why don't you come up here a second? We're going to do this. So he goes upstairs. He's got like a little puppy dog, a little friendly puppy dog, you know. And here's this couple, very attractively dressed, and they're having cucumber sandwiches on the veranda there. And Jack Chester comes up and he says, "Oh, hi there. I'm Jack Chester, your new neighbor, and you're
having lunch."
Oh yeah. Well, okay, sure. My wife Barbara, she did that role in that movie. And she gets residuals too. Now, at the very end of the film, there was this, the yacht race. You remember that crazy thing where they raised the shorts and he won the race, and she was one of the yacht race officials too. That was a lot of fun. What is this? All right, Ghoul, knock it off. You'll get your turn later, you loud person, you. What a character. Anywho, let's see. You got it. I'm going to stuff that frog up your nose in a minute. And you'll enjoy it. WB55. Friday nights 11:30, I guess, huh? Anyway, anybody have any questions? As long as we're up here, you'd like to know something about how the show got started and stuff like that?
Questions for Houlihan?
Yeah. We got some more stories here.
For the benefit of the sound man, let's just trade.
Okay.
They're both working. The sound man knows who's who and where then.
Okay.
Questions for Houlihan?
Hey, this is a better microphone. I like this one.
It's ballsy.
What was your favorite skit?
My favorite skit? Oh boy, you'd really have to go back on that one. Till one of my favorites was King the Wonder Dog. Remember that one where Chuck's dog, Rhodesian Ridgeback, Rowdy was his name, and you know, Chuck, the tree, he's the kielbasi kid, and the tree has fallen on his leg, and here comes the dog from way over, then jumps over his face and disappears over the hill. That was a beautiful dog. There's kind of a funny story about that. Actually, my favorite was the Parma School of Broadcasting, but it didn't win the Emmy that year, so it wasn't everybody's favorite, obviously. Anyway, so we were doing that shooting. It was out in the woods, and I've got a very special story about the dog in just a second here, but this one, you got to practice a little bit, you know. And we had this, remember he was going over hill and over logs and the whole bit, and Chuck's going, come on boy, and he's running, and they get all these different shots. And we had this thing where he jumps over the gully and then clambers up the side. Well, when they rehearsed it, they did it about twice, you know, and we had to stand on either side of the gully to make sure he went that way rather than over us, or, you know, had the camera set up. So when the dog first did it, good old Rowdy, he jumped just a mighty leap. It was like 2 feet from the top and kind of scrambled a little bit in the snow and went up over the top. Says, well, let's try that again. Make sure you can do that okay. Because that's the shot we want, you know, just leaping, slow motions, you know how dramatic. And so we do it again, and sure enough, over he goes. Rowdy, oh, leap, 2 feet from the top, scrambles up. So now, okay, get ready. You got the camera way down low so you can see this neat shot of the dog leaping over. Says, okay, Rowdy. Chuck called Rowdy up over the hill. Come on, boy, come on. He runs, jumps up, right into the water. Like a mud. Says, okay, Rowdy. Chuck called Rowdy up over the hill. Come on, boy, come on. He runs, jumps up, right into the water. Like a mud all over me from head to toe. And the dog's going, you know, and climbed, bless his heart. He had more heart. That was a neat dog. But the story I wanted to tell you was in relation to Rowdy. During the winter, you remember winter? I I don't remember winter anymore. I'm in Florida, you know. It's distant memories. The neat part about Florida, on the other hand, it's like 85 degrees down there and 85% humidity, so it's a trade-off. Anyway, so, you know the reason you have kids is to help clean up after things. You know, that's why we have them in the first place, right? Why else, for heaven's sake? Anyway, so the dog would always be let out in the backyard. This is when he lived in Parma. And you know what dogs do when they're let out in the yard, and the evidence of that would sink down through the snow and wouldn't be seen again until the snow melted. So here we got this whole yard full of little reminders of how many times Rowdy had been let out in the yard. So Mike, Mark, come on, get the cardboard box. And they went out there and picked up all the residue and stuck it in the cardboard box. He says, okay, I'm going to take it down to the park and fertilize the trees down there, okay? So he does, gets in the car. That's another story with a purple monster he had, the Impala. And he goes off the park and he pulls up in the gravel road and he looks around a little bit and gets out, stuck the stuff in the trunk, right? Lifts up the trunk, reaches in to grab the box, and he hears this wheels on gravel sound right behind him, and it's like, it's the forest ranger, the park ranger. It's like, ah, okay, you know, slam, and he goes off, right? So there it is in the trunk. 2 weeks later, Indian summer, you know how that happens? 85 degrees out there. And his wife, June, gets in the car to go get some groceries. Brings them out, opens up the trunk, and it's like, whoo! It had rotted through the cardboard box. Every little crack in the place. Oh, man. I should have followed Chuck around with a tape recorder and a notepad because he's had so many things happen to him. There was another thing with that car I was talking about. I remember we called it the Purple Monster. This is the kind of car, I think it had like 150,000 miles on it. You know how Cleveland, unfortunately, has a bad reputation for car thefts. It's like the car theft capital of the universe, it seems like. You know, any decent kind of car, you don't want to leave it unless it's under a street light, and even then, you're not really all that sure. So, to give you an idea of what he felt about that car, he used to leave the keys in the car, in the alley, the dark alley, behind the TV station, hoping it'd be stolen. But the thieves knew better. It never got, well, it did, one time. The cops came to the door, you know, rang the bell, and the engineers went up and let him back there while we were taping our show on one Friday night. And the cops came up and says, Mr. Shadowski, oh, hi, yeah, what is it? Says, well, we got your car back. Back? I didn't even know it was stolen. Darn, you guys are too good. You know? Anyway, who's got another question?
Houlihan, you mentioned your favorite skit. Did Big Chuck ever tell you what his favorite Houlihan skit is? Because every time he shows it, he tells the folks on TV land, it's my favorite Houlihan. He calls it an American in Paris.
I was going to say, it would have to be the French thing, yeah.
Terrific.
Pardon me, monsieur.
Your car. You
My foot! You
know. Love your accents here. We have a question for you right here.
Oh, okay.
You had a small bit in a Superboy TV series that was sold in Florida as a news announcer.
Yeah.
How did they find you?
How did they find me? Well, I don't care how they found me. It's Screen Actors Guild, I hope, finds me because they try to get residuals on that. But no, it's the process is that you get an agent or two, you know, and then they put you up for these things, you know, for an audition. And you go and audition and you keep your old fingers crossed and do the best you can. You know, be prepared and, you know, hopefully have the talent to do it. And wonder of wonders, they chose me to do this part. Actually, I've been kind of fortunate along those lines because I did Superboy, I did a Farmer in the Dell on Nickelodeon. Oh, that was Disney Channel, right? Mickey Mouse Club, exactly. Thank you very much, my press agent. And Sequest, RSV, remember that one? Used to be on NBC, Sequest, I was on that. Had to blink. If you blinked your eyes, you didn't see me too much, but I was there. But that's one of those things about Florida because they do film a lot there. because it gets very expensive out in California, so they try to find other locations. Canada has picked up a lot of shooting for these films and series. Of course, X-Files, they moved it from Vancouver down to LA because, you know, David Duchovny wanted to be near his wife, Tia Leone, in California. But the problem is, typically you can get only a small role, because if it's a larger role, they'll already cast it out of New York or Los Angeles. So pretty much what is left is, you know, little things and stuff like that. I did a film called Long Gone about 3-4 years ago, and you probably know about it because if you were watching at the time, Chuck announced it on the air because, of course, I was kind of proud of the fact that I'd gotten this film, and I told him, and I think he told you too. And what it was I spent all week long doing this film. It was like a 1950s film, and they had to do with this AAA baseball team in Florida that was playing the championship game. And I was the play-by-play announcer, had about 15 lines. It would have been really neat, you know, on camera, the whole bit. And I was describing the bottom half of the 9th inning of this film, Long Gone. And so I told Chuck that I was going to be in it, and it was an all-day shoot, and I was just, you know, getting all primed. And the scene had where the two major characters had been bribed not to play in the game. It was the catcher and the pitcher. Catcher and pitcher were bribed not to play. So they're off in a bar, and they're listening to the game on the radio. And when the time came, mind you, I'm sitting in my sofa and I'm kind of leaning forward because I know my role is coming up, and of course it had been announced to everybody that, you know, this Houlihan's going to be on this show. And I heard the announcer, and it wasn't my voice. I'm going, uh-oh. Then I realized, no, they changed the script. It wasn't the script that I had read. And what's going to happen here is they didn't want to come into, you know, Clearwater again and redo something with me just for a voiceover. They didn't want to fly me out to Los Angeles. That'd be expensive. So they just used another announcer, and I'll be on in a minute, okay? So then they came to the game right up to the point where I would have appeared, and it wasn't on. They cut my whole parts. Face on the cutting room floor. Hello, young man, how you doing?
Guess what? I was out in the audience and somebody said they would like to see a Readings by Roberts. Would you guys like to see a Readings by Roberts? Okay, well he's got to go backstage and get ready to do a Readings by Robert. While he's doing that, I want to tell you, stick around because in about another 15-20 minutes, we're going to have the pizza eating championship. Mushmouth is in the house. He is here. He just landed from Atlanta at about 8:30 this morning, so he's a little tired, but he said he could eat, but he's hungry. Also, we want to make sure you know we have two buildings, this building and one across the way. So they're both free to go into. You paid your admission, so they're both your availability. And we're going to be here all the way until 6 o'clock. And there's Froggy right over there. And as you can see, the list of people that are going to be on here. In the other building, just to tell you that we have the people from Lost in Space that are there. Mark Goddard and Marta Christensen, they're all sitting there. And Jim Szymanski.
Any questions for Little John, maybe? Little John, like, you want to know his shoe size, maybe, or something like that, huh?
Only if they want to send me a pair.
Mustard brown shoes, by the way. Any questions for Little John? Way in the back there? Okay, we got a very important question back here. Well, the robots, how live can a robot be? But they'll be landing, their spaceship landing, they'll be here at 1:30. Movie actor from Hollywood, John Solari, been in many Charles Bronson films, been in many Chuck Norris films and so forth. Great stories about making films out there. Big group photo at 2:45. Bring your cameras, videotape machines, everything. All of our celebrities will be on stage at the same time. That's the one time they all get together for a group photo. We'll hear from Houlihan at 3 o'clock again. We also have Mark Goddard and Marta Kristen from Lost in Space will be on stage. We'll bring them out from the other building. The Big Ghoul Show at 4:15. Boy, you don't want to miss this one. It's a big crowd pleaser, the Ghoul Show. And Charel, the great synthesized music, coming up at 5 o'clock. It's a great way to end off. Charel is right on the side of our stage here if you want to talk to him and get some of his CDs too. It's music that's out of this world.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Readings by Robert. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Readings by Robert.
Hi there. It's time once again for Readings by
the name? Joe, the announcer on that. Can't think? Oh, now, come on. You were there. You weren't born yet? Come on, give me a ball. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Hi, fellow swingers. Welcome once again to Readings by Robert. Thank you very much. Joe Dannery was our announcer on that routine. Now, Little John was nasty enough to say we're getting old, Carlos. He's right, isn't he? Just because I started collecting Social Security last week, and Medicare has nothing to do with it. I don't feel old. Anyway, I wonder if these things will fit anymore, Carlos. What do you think? Will that stay? Is that good enough? Whoa, that's good enough. Okay. You think I look silly? Look at this guy down here, for heaven's sake. Oh, Animal, you've got a funny thing on your butt there.
Twister, better known as Sexy Silver. Watch out now. Oh boy, here we go again. He think he's cute, everyone. Okay, everyone, we have an incredible show for you today, but in order to get it started, we need music. Twister, how do you turn on this big radio? 2000, push the power button. Turn on the power button, baby. The power button. Oh, yeah, right. Now we have power, and we're gonna need some crowd participation. We need to find a radio station. What is the best radio station? Oh my, everybody's talking at one time. Twister, you must find me a radio station with dance music. Okay, I will find station. And looking for a station. Looking for a station. Looking for a station. I think I've got one. Stop! Don't touch nothing! You must be stuck on stupid! This is not Japan! This is not China! And they like dance music, Twister! And I'll find it myself! Okay!
Come on, everybody! Clap your hands! All right, looking good.
Come on, Caesar!
I'm gonna sing a song. I'm gonna take love. I'm gonna do the twist, and it goes like this.
Okay, and now we would like to take this time to make a very important message for all the humans. CW3, take it away.
What's up? Humans of the planet Earth. We are from the planet Roborta. We come in peace. Come in peace. You must stop the violence on the planet Earth, or you will destroy your future.